late getting started, but we're here. We are here. I've been sitting up here at my desk, looking at my screen here, and man, I don't know what to say. I was wondering where my our friend Jasmine Crockett was at and everything because I haven't heard from her in a couple of days. So I searched in the internet and I found out that she's on this show with Jamal Kenyatta. I guess he's the one of the vice chairs and stuff and everything for the DNC, and she's on his show. So it was very interesting. I was watching that just a little bit ago. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I was watching it. She has a very, very interesting take and stuff on what's going on now and where we need to be at. So, oh man, she says that she's an attorney and she's a good attorney, but if they said to her, "We want you to be a surgeon in a hospital, and you're operating on people." That would be a disaster, and that's exactly what we have going on now in our cabinet. We got a lady who, for a long, many years and stuff, was on a wrestling show, and now she's the department head for our education. And what qualifies her to even think about running the Department of Education? And the only thing she's ever done was be a clown on some wrestling shows or go out and do a little wrestling and everything for entertainment. That's crazy. We'll take a podcaster and say, hey, I want you to be the FBI director. He's never been in the FBI before. Never. You got another podcaster. Oh, you're the Department of Defense or War, as he said. And he's qualified to be there and direct generals, 4 and 5 star generals, and tell them what the hell to do. You talking about dysfunction? That is it. But that's what we got. How do we deal with it? I don't know. Hopefully, as Reverend Warnock, Senator Warnock said, the evil will decide to go too far and we'll be able to stop them. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of people out there on the streets on Saturday, on the 18th, doing their marching. And Ted, guess what they're doing?
What?
Because Trump has decided that uh, people out there, especially in Portland and other places around there, they are violent people. They are terrorists. They are Antifa people. So what the folks in Portland decided to do was they made all their marchers come out there and put on the mime uniform. They got some people out there looking like the bunny and everything, and they got everybody's in there dressed in all kinds of mime suits and everything. So they're saying to them, uh, "What you gonna take and gas these characters and stuff and everything that the children and stuff are using on their social media or whatever?" I thought it was a real screwed up idea, but the people in Chicago started doing the same damn thing. Man, that's a novel idea. What makes them think that they can sit there and how they gonna feel when the public sees them gassing people who got on a outfit and everything for because it's almost near Halloween. So I guess that's what they're pushing. Say we're going to come out there since they think because we got our regular clothes on, we're Antifa and we're the evil folks and stuff out there that put it on these uniforms and these outfits and everything. We don't seem to be as intimidating and stuff as we are if we're in our regular street clothes. I don't know. I'm hoping that they have millions and millions and millions of people out there Saturday, which they probably will. So, Mr. Harvey has been looking at our president speech before the Knesset. Well, I guess that's what they call that place. He's making himself known over there in front of the Israel because he is the chief peacekeeper now. And so far, two things have happened. They have released all the hostages from Gaza folks, Hamas, or whatever you want to call them. And they're supposed to have released almost 2,000 prisoners and stuff and everything from Israel. Well, guess what, people? He didn't solve the war yet. What we got is what? A ceasefire. We done had so many ceasefires in my lifetime, I can't even tell you about all of them. And they still fighting over there. So uh, I think he better sit back and stop trying to take those bows and everything and just wait to see what the hell happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So what did you see, Ted? Because I didn't look at it. I really
Well,
didn't. I didn't look at it. I'm
what I
sorry.
saw was a whole lot of kiss ass. I never seen them praise. Bibi kissed Trump's ass. Trump kissed Bibi's ass. And those Arabs kissed Trump's ass. Talking about next year you will win the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. The Palestinians, probably 500,000, probably injured. We already know 75, 70 plus million thousand people dead, and over half of those are women and children. People starving, half starved to death. It's almost like their life was worthless. You got children running around with no arms, no legs. I mean, the mercy. I don't understand it all, really, to be honest with you. It's kind of heartbreaking. I'm trying not to keep. I'm trying to keep from being totally depressed because, in my mind, whether they're overseas or here in America, every life is valuable. Every life. You know, I mean, there are people that are whacked and got issues, but every life is valuable. They were brought on this earth for a purpose. And for evil people just to kill innocent people. 73%, I heard somebody say 73% of those people were bystanders that got murdered, killed, bombed, shot down. And I look right now in our country, this traitor is trying to do the same thing to this country. He has got his people to take down the guardrails of protecting this country and fired hundreds of thousands of people to protect this country or allowed the government to close down because he wanted this great big sorry ass bill for these billionaires and corporations and millionaires, which, I don't have a problem personally with the tax cuts because taxes is too high. However, the monies that come in should be directed the right way. You can't keep spending $2 trillion a year for military. So, in my opinion, I'm just saying, and you can't keep on allowing these hospitals and insurance people keep ripping people off, overcharging, but you don't want to deal with that. Just like you don't want to deal with immigration and have laws and regulations for that. This is the problem because there's so much money into all of this. So much money. So you got these greedy ass politicians and all these self-appointed NGOs and making money, millions of dollars. So today, this morning, I was looking at all the stock market, like last Friday, was some profit taking and the stock market went down almost 1,000 points. That's all it was profit taking. Because what happens is there's a website that you can go on and you can go to each one of these companies and it'll show how much these officers, I ain't talking about the CEOs, some of these CEOs is not making that much. What they do is they get every they have a bunch of shares that is given to them. And so they can sell 500,000, 20,000, 10,000, whatever, and get some cash. Sell their shares. That's how they get their little bonuses. Quarters almost up. They say, "Hey, I'm ready for a vacation and I'm getting ready for the holidays, so I need some cash." And that's what they do. So that was a little profit taken from these officers, all over these top 500 companies. They get a little, they sell out. They still got a bunch of shares left, but they can sell 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 shares, depending on how much money they want, how big the company is. Some of these people get $4 and $5 million. That'll carry them over to the end of the year. And they take these gorgeous vacations and spend lavish money and have parties and all that. However, if you look at I was listening to one of these guy been around for 40 years. His name is Howard Marks. And anybody listen, look him up. Very good guy. Seemed like a very good guy. Wrote about 2 or 3 bestsellers on finance, stock market, all that. And he does a newsletter called Memos. And he explains to people all the different little things. And if you go into his website, I think his company is Oakfield or something like that, and he shares all the stocks that he invests in. And the one thing that he was talking about is the different levels that we have come, how far we have come, and the different progress that we've made. And he said this AI thing is a whole different ball game. And he's still trying to figure it out. So people, the thing is that these top 100 companies, probably 500, They're trying to figure out this AI and get on top of it where they can make money. Right now, all they're doing is investing in AI. They claim billions and billions of dollars. But a lot of these people that are running these AI joints, like Oracle and others, they have to have a lot of energy. And right now, that's the problem right now, because it takes a lot of energy to gather all this data so that that AI can work and do the things you want it to do. So right now, the stock market is all about keeping it high so that people don't gamble and they just invest, keep on investing and keep all the stocks, shares high. You know, I'm old enough to remember McDonald's used to be $29 a share. Now it's over 300. I'm old enough to know Microsoft was $35 a share. Matter of fact, most of y'all are old enough to know when Facebook was $45 a share. Now it's over 500. The question is, and the reason why the stock market is such a great investment right now, is because the banks don't pay interest rates. I'm old enough to remember when the banks was giving you 10% on your dollar. That's how old I am. So, you know, if you have $200,000 in the bank, you can live off of that. Back then, in the 80s. So now what's happening is that people are looking ways where they can have passive income. You can't do it in bonds now because they ain't paying nothing. 3%, 4%. You know, if you got a lot of money, you know, you don't care. You know, you just throw it in securities and boom, boom, boom. You know, you wait 10 years or you can get it out early, get a tax, you know, charge and fees and all that. But the point is, your money is going to be pretty safe. You buy securities. So right now, that 20% of people, they wondering where can they put their money? Where can they keep making money? Because right now the stocks ain't paying nothing unless you got a stock that's paying nice dividends, you know, 4, 5, 6%. And then a lot of those paying that kind of money. And so that's the whole thing what's going on right now. And the people that are the working, and I'm going to say the working class and the so-called middle class is hurting. Trying to keep your jobs so that you can pay your car note, your mortgages, keep your kids in school, all of that. It's a turmoil, bro. You know, here in the state of Florida, tourism is so down, these businesses are going out of business. These side hustlers, you know, that usually, you know, hustle doing tourism, gone. We have what we call the snowbirds here in Florida. You got Canadians and all kind of people that come from cold weather. They come here and stay in the summer, in the winter times. They ain't coming. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on throughout the United States that is a slow turn, just like politics. Everything is a slow turn till you feel it. So right now, just right now, a lot of people's feeling it, but they're not feeling it hard enough. But they keep on making that ship turn and keep turning. Then you're gonna start feeling. You're gonna say, "What happened? What happened?" That's what you're gonna be saying. Because see, it ain't hitting you now. You're doing okay. You still got your job and all that, but you're paying those high prices. But you say, "Oh, I can make it. I can cut back here. I can cut back there." But it ain't hit you yet, so you're not that concerned. And that's the problem with this country. You don't take care of the least of them. You walk right by these homeless people, and you know that the government ain't got no business allowing 1 million people be homeless, thinking something is wrong with them. You don't know their hardship. So my thing is, it's the American people. I don't care. If you don't take time, 90 million of you guys decided not to vote. And then the rest of those people put that man in office. And this is what we got right now. All he's doing is calling unnecessary chaos. That's it. So you get what you get. And like I say, right now, most of y'all is doing okay. You surviving. But that ship, if it keep on turning the way it's turning, you're going to feel it real bad. And you're going to ask yourself, what happened? Instead of you getting out there in them streets, writing your congressman, calling your congressman, calling your governor, and getting on their case, they're not doing the right thing. You sitting up here allowing them to take history out of the schools. What's wrong with you? These are white folks doing this. Every culture, every person, every history, this is history in America. You so used to reading about the founding fathers and all that. Oh yeah, they did a decent job. Okay, they started the country. They weren't the only ones. Blacks involved too. Now you just didn't get that history. And other groups of people. But see, they revised history too. Back then, they started revising history. Just like they didn't teach us about what they did to our people in the 20s and the late 1800s after Reconstruction. We didn't learn that until our adult years. I'm just saying, we got to be quicker than this, faster than this. We got to be smarter than this. We can't be letting these crooks and con artists and grifters and people that's stealing and all that. It's too much. I told you, in the last 40 years, people, we have given $5 trillion to foreign people, and I can almost guarantee you half of that money in the last 40 years went to Israel. I don't have a problem with it because it ain't my money. Part of it is, but what I'm saying is, it's not being accounted for. We have 26 million. We got articles. We got receipts. I got receipts of this stuff. $26 trillion is missing from the Pentagon. I'm just saying, and Lord only knows how much this healthcare have been bamboozled us. But people want to get their health care. They want to get, people want to get their physicals. They want to get checked out and all that. And they just charging money left and right, overcharging. We got to put the right people in office who cares about this country and the people and obey the laws. You got people in Congress they they already know what's going to happen and what's going to do, and then they sit there and do inside trading. I ain't seen nobody go to jail yet. I've seen people resign before before they get called up. I'm just saying, they in it. A lot of them, not all of them, in it for the money. Got their nice little retirement. You become a congressperson or a senator, and you there for a term or two, and there you go. You got your nice retirement, nice health benefits, federal health benefits, and you get you a nice six-figure retirement plan. Hey, what job you work, 1 or 2 or 3 terms and you start getting money for retirement? What I'm just trying to figure out what company do you know that you work for 4 or 5 years or 6 years and now you get a full benefit of retirement for the rest of your life? Huh? You work for these corporations for 30 years, you'd be lucky if you get a pension. American people need to wake up, bruh. You paying taxes on top of taxes on top of taxes. FICA, Social Security, health care. And then you gotta pay if you're working for a corporation, you gotta pay for your damn own insurance. Corporations don't even pay for your insurance no more. It used to be free. But that's okay. Some of y'all making a nice little check, so therefore, okay, that's all right. I'm making more money I ever made. I'm making 6 figures or whatever. You know, it's still taking your money, but okay, you make enough money. But what about those people making 25, 30, $40,000? When is the American people? When are y'all? Well, I know what it is. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. Because we got over 150 million people just got off the boat. They ain't been here 80 years. They happy to be here. But the rest of y'all sitting around here, y'all know better, but maybe y'all living good now. Most of y'all getting a nice little Social Security check for $4,000 or whatever, and you get your retirement, so you living off of $7,000, $8,000 a month. So you fine. Come on now. But yet still, you still see 1 million people homeless, 500,000 children in foster care, 1 million little boys and girls in prison. And then we don't even want to talk about all this pedophile shit going on. They got these rings and everything else. Man, we hear about it all the time around here in Florida. You got a church on every damn block. Something's wrong with this picture. Something's wrong with this picture. You got a church every block. I see them all over the place. I don't care where I go. And when I used to live in California, I used to count and I'll be going to church on Sunday morning. I used to count how many churches and taverns that I passed. There's two things you're going to see: bars and churches. American people, man, y'all need to wake up, bro. I'm getting disheartened from the American people because y'all too slowful. You too slowful. Allowing these people to treat you the way they treating you. You need to see some of these other cities, man. I'm telling you, you need to see some of these other countries. They have modernized their country. They living in peace. They living in luxury. And they take care of their people. They ain't got 2 million people in jail or in prison. They ain't got 1 million people running around homeless. There's a whole lot of these countries are taking care of their people. But maybe, people don't care. Maybe because, they might be people of color or they might be what they call poor whites. I don't know what the problem is. I don't get it, Ed. Anyway, that's all I want to say. I just,
Yeah.
these people,
Okay.
these people, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm disappointed in these American people, man. I'm telling you. I don't care. You can be what they call redneck or whatever you want to call them, whatever, American blacks or whatever. I'm just sick of these American people that don't give a shit about nobody.
Well, I'm going to start backwards here. Oh man, you spoke about what other countries and stuff are doing, and some of the things you said, man, they just hit so so true and stuff that we just uh, we're not realizing and stuff because if you're sitting in something, it's hard for you, as they say, if you sit in the forest, it's hard for you to see the trees.
Mm,
You to see what's going on outside of you. And
absolutely.
we aren't seeing, we're in that forest and we aren't seeing those trees. We're not looking outside of our borders and stuff to see the progress and stuff that's being made in these other countries and stuff and everything while we're sitting here thinking that we're the king shit and everything and we are
Mm,
not. Uh, you just spoke about how things are better. I my brother-in-law and his wife just went to England and did some traveling around Europe. And he came back and he told us, we are so far behind, it is almost absolutely unbelievable. They are sitting there and they're riding, instead of flying from different countries and stuff there in the European Union and stuff and everything, they have a transportation system and everything that makes us look like crap. They have, you can go from Paris, France to Great Britain on a train,
yep,
less than an hour and a half.
yep,
I mean, in a train. So what they have done is they built a tunnel underneath the English Channel,
yep,
and they call this thing the Tube.
yep,
And they get on these trains and stuff and everything, and with an hour and a half, they can go from London to Paris, just like
yep,
that. And they can go any place in any one of those countries and stuff on the high speed rail. We're trying to. I remember when Obama gave the was offering the state of Florida almost $4 billion to help
yep.
them to build uh, high speed rails from, I think it was uh,
Tampa
someplace
to Florida to Miami to
right down in
from
Florida to down to
Orlando,
Miami.
Tampa to Orlando,
Yeah,
and then
and
from
and
Orlando to
and
Miami.
and the governor, and who is right now sitting in the Senate and everything.
No,
Uh,
no, no, no,
he,
no, no.
he,
It was
yeah,
Bush. It
he
was
told me
Bush.
he didn't want that money.
It was Bush.
Yeah. He don't want the money. We
Right.
don't need that money. Well, this was in 2009, 2010, people. This is what, almost 15 years ago. He was trying to help us to get into high speed traveling and stuff and everything on rails. And we're still sitting there on regular railroad tracks that uh, if you're a passenger train, you have to share the rail with the freight train.
Yep.
These people don't have to do that. They built their own stuff and everything to move their people around. And man, we got to get ourselves together. You go to Japan, all the places. They're building high speed rail. They're building it in Kenya, Africa.
Yep.
When we were looking at Kenya and stuff and everything, they running around here with the antelopes. Well, these people that running with the antelopes, them old folks, they are going from their capital to the other end of that state on a high speed rail at almost 200 and some miles an hour that they have built to move their people around. They are building huge buildings and stuff in each and every one of these countries and stuff. They are going by us so fast, it's a crying shame. We got to be able to do something here, people and stuff, to take care of ourselves because where we're going now and these roads we're going down now, we can't sustain it. We are going to be way, way, way behind, folks.
I was just reading an article about Dublin. They building a rail where all you do is hop on and hop off, and it hits all of their tourist attractions and everything, and just takes them around the whole area.
And you can't, people, and I know Donald is doing this and whatever, he is asking us to build things inside of our country. Well, you can't build things inside your country if you're sending the technology out of your country or you're not funding the technology and the people that you need to build these things.
Yep.
When you're looking at universities and stuff, and these people now, he's telling folks, you are not going to get any government money from us and everything unless you pay Donald Trump. What kind of mess is that? This money is coming from the American people to help to take care of our universities, our places of higher learning. And you are bribing these people and everything that they're going to have to give you money. It's almost like a mobster. He's just like these gangsters. You got to pay me to get to for security or whatever. These mops have been doing this stuff for years. They go into the community and stuff. They tell all the business and stuff. You pay me to take care of you, to watch over you, make sure that we keep the bad folks off you. Well, they the bad people. Trump's doing the same thing. He's a gangster. And he's coming in and asking these universities to pay protection. Where are we going, people? Where are we going? We got to pay protection to Trump. He's telling these companies and stuff that no, it's the first time in history I know that you're telling a company where you got to give me 10% of your company and everything for you to do business here. He gangsting people. You might as well call him the Don. Don Donald.
Well, you
When they
know,
kiss his ring. All right, Donald, the Don.
the
Oh,
question is that you know I'm a firm believer in the Bible, and the Bible says, "Without a vision, the people will perish."
mm-hmm.
In this country right now, we supposed to believe in democracy, which means freedom in my book, meaning that people can do what they want to do and what have you. However, the country has to have a vision. Besides promoting democracy and freedom, you should have a vision of the whole country. Right now, we didn't talk about this 100 times, but we know that the worst states are the red states that's doing really bad. Now they didn't propped up and put all kind of military things here and there. to sort of kind of bring some work there. And some of these military companies, that do military stuff for the military, they put them in Oklahoma, they put them in Tennessee. You saw the blow up in Tennessee. They put them in Tennessee. They put them in Texas. They make bombs and all that kind of stuff. So that they can have people making a good living and what have you. But that's for the military. They got them all over the place in all these red states. They looking for contracts so that they can build a company so that they can hire people to build bombs and all that kind of stuff, ammunition and all that. So that's where we at now.
Uh, and going back a little bit further, taking it a little bit further there, we're at a point and stuff now, and like you just said, there was a one of the factories there in Tennessee blew up. What killed what 3 people and injured what 16 or something like that. The place blew up.
Yeah. All you gotta do is make one little mistake.
That's it. The place
Cause
blew up.
you handling the high explosives, and they got them all over the country. To try to give them jobs. They shipped all the manufacturing jobs out in the 80s. We don't do apparel. We don't do textile. We don't even package our own goods and goods that we
And,
do. They just ship it out to China and they do all the stuff. A lot of it.
and you have to have a plan. If you don't have a long term planning, it's you can't do anything. I understand that we want manufacturing in our country, but you have to come up with a plan, some kind of way where you're gonna be able to bring manufacturing stuff here. Understand that just by you saying that you're gonna bring some manufacturing here, it's not gonna get it. There's a whole lot to that before you even get to bringing these companies here. I look at the other day, Trump and our main competitor out there, China, were sitting there talking. So Trump got mad at China because they wouldn't give him his rare earths that he's gonna need to build the plane, to build these AI chips to put into his armament or whatever. They said we're not giving you that for any war effort, but anything else, we will give you the chips, give you the raw materials for it. He got pissed off and said, "Up, I'm gonna put 100% tariff on China." What did China do? People not gonna believe what the hell they did.
I know
I'm
what they
telling you,
did.
people, this is just you talking about absolute planning of stuff. They already have planned for this shit that he had just said. They had ships, people, that were coming across the ocean in the Pacific Ocean and in the Atlantic Ocean, headed toward the U.S. ports. Well, in mid trip, they call their ships up and said, "Hey, we got other ports to go to." They sent them to Canada. They sent it to the European Union. They sent it to Brazil. They sent them to Africa. All the other ports and stuff out there, and they left the U.S. ports and stuff alone.
They probably sent it to Mexico too.
They did. They sent them there. And what happened when Trump did that, people? You got to have some plans going on. You just can't just up at night at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to social media and say, "Oh, I got an idea, and I'm gonna put this down here, and my people better follow it." When he did that, he shut the ports down, Long Beach, L.A., Oakland, and all the ports and stuff around the country. They were shut down, and the reason why they were shut down is because the folks there who were unloading these ships and everything did not know how much tariff to charge these people and stuff who were unloading their containers into the United States. So because they did it, they held everything up in our ports, and now they got ships sitting out there in the ocean and stuff waiting to be unloaded. Can't get into the ports because he done locked it up. And now he done walked away and took
Ed,
off and went to Israel and left that
Ed,
calamity there.
Ed, that ship is turning, bro. It's turning. You know what? Venezuela just made an announcement. They're not buying oil from America. They're gonna buy it from Russia. They're gonna buy that oil from Russia. So the oil company's gonna be losing money.
Everybody, we're going to destroy this country. He has, in so many words, destroyed this country, and you can't find anybody on the other side of the aisle and everything who's going to talk against him and say that what he is doing and everything, we need to stop and change courses here and do something else. Nobody is opening their mouth and saying anything, and they allowing him to do what the hell he wants to do, knowing that you are destroying your own country, the people around you, your family members are being destroyed. They're having to pay more money for their products. These congressmen, the senators do not care.
They don't care.
They don't care about you people. They don't care. They'll sit there
And
and let you
Ed, I want to say this. I want to say this. The America, before this knucklehead started taking over, the America works like a fine-tuned comb because the people of America that's working, they work. They do their job. Now we might have some loafers and all that, but I'm saying for the most part, things be running smooth. You got your truckers, you got your dock loaders, you got your medical people, you got your research people, you got your uh, manufacturing people. It works like a clock, and these people that's doing the research and the data, they keep data on all of these companies and each state and find out where they at and what's going on, how much, what kind of revenue they receiving, and do they have a profit and loss. Tomorrow they're gonna do a big old thing about maybe 15, 20 companies that's gonna find out where they at. America works like a fine-tuned comb, but you gotta allow these people to do their job, and then you gotta have a vision. You gotta have something that what you trying to do. Where you going? Where we going? They got us divided. They got people, cutting up each other, all kind of, different races and ethnic groups and all of that, trying to destroy, talking about the right, the left, talking about this and that, you know, and these people making clicks and, giggles and clicks, so that they can make some money by talking about people and all that. This is crazy. It's crazy. These people are just have, only thing these people is interested in is making money. They don't care about. I don't care. I got mine. I got my 3, 4, $5 million. I don't care. And a lot of these people making $20,000 or $30,000 a month.
And most of the time, when I just spoke about him, the 100% tariff, and they shutting down the ports there, and almost all the ports in the United States are being shut down because they try to keep up and do things right. What the heck happens, people, when that happens? You got your truckers that's sitting out there. They can't do their job. They got people and stuff out there who depend upon the truckers. They got these companies and stuff and everything that are waiting on their products and stuff to get to the door and everything.
You got
You
the
got
loaders and
manufacturers, everybody just sitting there
yeah,
waiting. And
loaders and
and, and and
unloaders and all that.
and most of these people and stuff, these companies are calling them up and say, "Hey, we got to shut you down until this thing happens and stuff. You can't move products." So they're sitting out there in their semi truck waiting to move product and everything, and sitting in the daggone truck and not making any money at all. They can't make money if they're not driving that other trucks. And the things are sitting there, people burning up fuel. They're burning up their fuel, waiting to see what the heck going to do. And some of them may not even have a job the next day. There's a company out there who put themselves online. They, after all this mess going on, they shut the whole company down. there was what they said 16,000 drivers and stuff all over the country and everything lost their job because the people said we can't keep on doing this and make any money. We got to shut down.
Yeah.
You've got manufacturing plants here. You got before this knucklehead got in office, the auto industry in Canada and Mexico were a well-tuned operation, just in time delivery to keep these plants and stuff going. And they were working very well. And as soon as Trump comes in and throws their tariff in there and stuff, it threw the whole daggone thing out. These companies have lost money. Ford, Stylus, uh, all of them are losing money and everything because of what Trump had done. GM, they are losing billions of dollars. He doesn't care. All he wants to do is say, my tariffs is going to work. Why mess with something that's doing good? And then he turns around and sends his economic guy, Lutnick, up into Canada and sit down there and tell those folks and everything, all the cars are going to be made in the United States. You guys are going to have to follow us. What do you think them Canadians are going to do? They done told Lutnick, Mister, go home, and we can't depend on the United States anymore. They're going to go someplace else.
Well, their whole thing is, if you heard J.D. Vance, and Trump, they always talking about the left, the left, the left, the Marxists, the communists, the Antifa, all that crap. And they get these people that's working every day, they ain't paying attention to the news and don't realize all they doing is poisoning your mind and lying. Oh yeah, there are some Antifa people out there. And there are some people that's out there extremists to the right and the left. But what about the American people? That's why you have police officers. That's why you have the FBI. That's why you have all these other agencies to protect the American people. Those people that's breaking the law, that's what they do. I don't get it, bro. I mean, we paying over $1 million. We got like, when you talk on the military and the polices and all these agencies and everything, you're talking about 5 million, 6 million people. That's for security for the American people. And they ain't even counting all those, what they call security people, the people, private security.
Well, folks,
You got 1 million of those people running around doing private security.
absolutely. We got a lot of stuff out here we need to talk about, but we get them to the end, people. So, Ted, what's your final word, brother? I'm gonna let you finish this
Well,
thing
my
out.
my prayer is that they always talking about woke. I'm praying that these people woke to me is about being informed, getting receipts, and knowing what's happening. And it don't take all day. I mean, I might spend all day, or 4 or 5 hours or whatever, and do research and do this and do that. And and I'm sitting in here just sprouting out a whole lot of bunch of stuff. But each one of those things I've read about it. I did the research on it. You do your research. All I want is the American people to get engaged and find out the truth. Don't let these people hoodwink you, because right now you're being hoodwinked. That's my last word.
Well, people, I didn't want to say this, but I guess I better do this. I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna have to say it. I'm looking at my folks there in Chicago. Man, Chicago, the biggest, beautiful city that I know about. They better that I can. Ooh, if it wasn't for the snow people, I wouldn't be here in Atlanta. I'd be in Chicago because
You
that's
get
my
that right.
town.
You get
That's
that
my
right.
town, people. And them folks up there, they ain't taking no mess, people. The mayor sat down there and filed paperwork and said, we ain't taking none of this ice crap. We ain't gonna do anything at all. And anybody, they can't come over there until they They can't go into the museums. They can't go into the parks. They can't go into anything that's belongs to the city of Chicago and station themselves to do anything at all. Then he actually he's opened up the door and stuff and said, well, any businesses and stuff who want to be able to put themselves on this order and stuff, please call our office up and let us know and we'll add you guys to there. Well, the businesses in Chicago said, we gonna we ain't gonna they can't come in, ice can't come in our restaurants, they can't eat. We ain't feeding them. And they can't stay in our hotels. So
Lord have mercy.
them people fighting up there in Chicago. Hey folks, y'all got me. Y'all got it. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep doing what y'all supposed to be doing. And let these some girls know we don't like what the heck going on in this country. So hey, that's my
Pray
last
for the people.
that's my last word, Chicago. Go on, Chicago. Go Cubs. Go White Sox. All of y'all. Bye.